engagement and the like. And she understands the dynamic of Bermuda, especially, and how we participate and our importance. And she's a young lady whose family I know. Now I'm going to shift gears and go from Pakistan to Death Valley. They're part of my Death Valley extended family. I say good morning to Ms. Davida O'Brien, and welcome to Tourism in Focus.
Good morning. It's been a minute. Morning, but I'm excited to be here.
I'm so glad to have you here once again, and you know you're always welcome. We have another guest at the bottom of the hour, so if we don't get through everything we need to, you know that you're welcome to come and part two of today and pick up where we left off or take it in another direction if you so please. So I just want to give you an opportunity to share with folks who know you or who don't know you what your role is presently, and tell us a little bit about it and how it works in tourism for Bermuda.
Will do. So my title is Director of Social Inclusion and Stakeholder Engagement. I know it's a mouthful, and every time I say it, people are like, what does that mean? Like, I understand inclusion, I understand engagement, like how does it all come together? And so the short answer is my role is about connecting the dots between tourism and community. So I always say that, you know, the tourism product is nothing without the Bermuda people. The Bermuda people are valuable to the tourism product. So our job is to go out and market Bermuda, tell the world about this great destination and why you should come and visit here. But once they get here, it's the people that make visitors repeat. It's the people that create memories with visitors. It's the people that turn visitors into friends and family, and so on and so on. And so with that, it's very important that we make sure that we are connected with the community and the community feels connected to us.
Now, you're a young person. You're a young person. I've identified that as well. How do we ensure that persons younger than you coming up have the skills that you've cultivated? Because listen, I know your family has been very involved in tourism, but tell us how we make sure that it gets passed along.
We start from young. So we need to get it into the schools permanently. I'm happy to say within the Tourism Standards and Training Department at the BTA, we've done that at an M2 level with some material that we've created around tourism and hospitality. We play a big hand in the hospitality school up at Sands. We've created extra materials for teachers that we're hoping that can be added value to teachers, and we're still trying to push to get that in the schools. It starts from young. You know, simple things as instead of saying A for apple, why can't it be A for airport or A for aquarium or G for Gombey, and really be able to teach our students from young what that means to live on an island, right? Yes. When we go into these schools, we talk about how the economy works, right? We have to talk in their language.
Yes,
so I'm like, you know, I have a son, and you know, he's quick to come and ask, Mom, I gotta get my hair cut. I need a new pair of sneakers, and you know, all the rest of it, right? But if we don't have new money coming in, then I can't afford to do this, right? Yes. I can't get a promotion. I can't get all the rest of it. But because you may not be interested in it, doesn't mean that somebody else isn't interested in it, right?
You make an excellent point, because I did something on Sunday that was something that was I learned growing up, and that was I listened to some visitors. I was standing at the bus stop. The bus was late. I could feel their angst. They saw me at the terminal waiting for the next bus, and I knew they was going South Shore, and they were number 8. And I told them, get off with me. And I told it loud enough so everybody could hear. I says, get off with me at Chapel Road. I'm walking over to Newstead. I'll have access to a vehicle. I'll drop you on my way to see my mom at Horseshoe Bay. That is trust that people wouldn't have in any other place.
This is it. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
You've traveled. I travel. It ain't no way that somebody's going to tell me in another country, trust me, follow me, I'll take you. No, thank you. I'll figure it out. But somehow in Bermuda, people find us very trustworthy.
And we've got to teach people how to pass, because to think that, Swan woke up that way. No. To think that Swan may have learned that in his home. Maybe I did learn some of it. My mama worked in the hospitality industry at Ledglitz, and my auntie and the like. But a lot of that I learned also in the community, right? And your grandmother would have worked at Port Royal Golf Course in the early 70s. In the early 70s. That's right, she did. Worked at Port Royal, where I learned a lot of those things, because those older persons made sure if they were up there working and there were young people around and they couldn't be there around their children, they made sure the next person's children got a dose of what good home training was all about. Yes?
But so, you know what I call all of that?
What's that?
Bermuda pride. Because if you have pride in your country and you have all of that, it shows up differently. So you don't even think about the fact that you see a visitor trying to read a map and you don't go out and ask, how can I help you? You know what? I'm got a car. I'll fit you all in.
Yeah.
Like you have that pride, and you want to make sure that when they leave, that they had a good time, right?
Yes.
And that you played a role in that, right?
Yes.
You want them to choose Bermuda, right? When you're thinking about going to another place, you want them to be like, nah, I remember my friend John or Sue or whomever. I want to go back down there, and I want to bring more people with us, right? And so part of my role, again, is connecting those dots, getting people to understand. A lot of people don't understand that they actually play a role in tourism. They just think that, I don't work in a restaurant, I don't work in a hotel, I don't drive a taxi, so tourism doesn't touch me. Yes, it does. It touches all, and it should touch all of us. It is our second pillar in our economy. It should touch all of us, and we should all want to play a role in that. And so, again, being able to have these conversations. We've started a Tourism Insights Exchange Forum. Basically, that means I've been reaching out to different stakeholders and saying, hey, let's break down these silos. Let's connect. I want to be able to explain what we do up here. We collect a lot of data that can help you do your jobs better and look at different things. And I want to know what issues you're having on your end and how we can work together in different areas. And I'm here to say that that's been a success. And I'm so looking forward to meeting with other stakeholders. So if you're on the line and you want to connect, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at BTA.
What's your email? Just
D O'Brien. So that's
D O'Brien.
OBRIEN at BermudaTourism.com.
Okay.
I'm happy to have the conversation. I bring a whole crew with me. So, from different areas. So we have our experiences, we have our data, we have our corporate comms. And so when we come, we're coming delivering so that you can be at your best, right?
And you said something. You said tourism's number 2 in our economy. Once it was number 1. But the people in international business and financial services do the same thing and require the same welcoming environment, and they came here because it existed through tourism.
Correct.
So it's number 2, but it's a very part of number 1. And that's the intersection that I think we are missing.
You're absolutely correct. International business is, it's all about the finance. It's all about that. But guess what else they do? They have to go out and take their clients out.
Yes.
They need somewhere to stay. They
Yes.
need to eat. They need to entertain. They need all of that. Where does that come from? The tourism and hospitality industry, right? So for them to be at their best, we need to be at our best as well. So it goes hand in hand. At no point does tourism and hospitality get left out, especially when we live on an island, right? It doesn't go, it all goes hand in hand. And so it's just reminding the community that connection. And sometimes, community has to feel it. And so we want to make sure that we're doing our part in making sure we're connecting those dots and that, the community can feel it in some shape or form.
The CEO told me, I was teaching him golf and I was asking him different things. And I told him I had someone coming to Bermuda to golf, but they were a global player in financial services. Someone that I was trying to get here to look at some of our infrastructure. So here's a gentleman that I knew, trying to lure him to Bermuda, and he was, let's just say he might have been a director at Goldman Sachs. So I wanted to make sure that when that person came to Bermuda, that I can link up with someone who might be a chairman of a major company. So I was teaching. So I told him, what that person told me? He said, listen, whether or not you interact introduce him to me or not. Take him on the water. I'm looking at it. I says, this guy's not talking to me like he's a CEO. No, he's talking to me like he's going to entertain. He said, take him on the water and let him see Bermuda from the water. He says, it doesn't cost that much to rent a boat for an hour or two. And, you get some nice hors d'oeuvres and cocktails and get the right people to interact. He says, the water will sell Bermuda. And I'm saying, here's a person who specializes in closing deals, in cementing relationships, telling me, take them on the water and let them take a sit. Because on the water, they're not going to come into somebody going around the corner real fast and then they're going to just be at the pace. And it sounded like he was talking as a tourism person.
Correct. Bermuda closes deals.
Yes.
Bermuda closes deals. There's one thing to talk about it. I mean, anybody could talk about how they go away and they talk about Bermuda stuff. But we can clearly say it is nothing like when you get here. It is nothing like when you are on that plane coming in and seeing the island from high above and the water and all of these things like that, right? And so in order for our international guests to close these deals, they need tourism operators, they need, the chefs, the waiters, the waitresses, they need everybody to play their role. And they even need the person walking down the street, right? Because when you're closing a deal, that person is not always in your care, right? At some point, that person is going to roam the streets by themselves, right?
Yes.
And so you're expecting that the people of Bermuda are going to kick in with their charm, that Bermudian spirit and all of that, and speaking all of those good things. And sometimes that's what closes the deal as well.
Well, while we're here, I'm sad to say we're 11 minutes outside the bottom of the hour, and I have my next guest outside.
No worries.
But I want to send a special shout out to Mr. Joaquin, who looks for golf balls and sells golf balls at Belmont Hotel. So you said, well, why are you talking about Joaquin right now? Talking about stakeholder engagement. Well, let me tell you this much. When I was in Pittsburgh, some visitors stopped me. The starter there comes to Bermuda. And he's a retired accountant. And he says, Bermuda, the best time I had in Bermuda was at Belmont. I says, my brother's the pro at Belmont. He says, no, we were out on that golf hole, and we ran up to this guy selling golf balls. And he's got a YouTube. So this visitor, catering to me playing his course, flicked on YouTube and showed me Joaquin in Pittsburgh.
See?
And those authentic experiences. Someone else stopped me and told me about the guy that works at the golf course down at Tucker's Point, who has the GoPros fishing off the rocks, off the hook.
Yeah,
he's got 750,000 subscribers.
Correct.
And I'm saying to myself, mercy, you are there.
Correct. There are endless reasons why a person can come and visit Bermuda. And I say that because, again, you have the person, and just because we're talking about fishing, the person that fishes, in the States, but they're like, wait, I can come to Bermuda and I can do all of this. Or,
off the rocks.
And that's a different experience.
Yeah.
And again, to us, it's so normal to us that it doesn't feel like an experience.
But it's therapeutic. You don't get seasick. You're not far from your hotel. You're in your bike ride away or a taxi ride back or whoever's picking you up. And you've done something that's totally different.
Exactly. So sometimes we just have to change our mindset, the way that we think about stuff, to open our eyes to what a visitor could like or would like. You know what I mean? But again, it's all about connecting the dots, making sure the community could connect the dots, because that will just grow, and better our tourism product.
Well, with our shortened time, I'll give you 5 minutes to tell us all that you want to tell us about tourism standards. And I'll just put a shameless plug out there that one of the things that keep people coming back is in the evening time, the wonderful restaurants that we have. For many years, Restaurant Weeks has grown. It's been embraced. And
I'll just say two closing things, and then I'll put a quick plug in about Restaurant Weeks. So tourism is the strongest when the community feels seen, heard, and included. And if tourism is going to be represented to the world, it has to be shaped by us. So I would leave your listening audience with that. And then a quick plug-in. It is Restaurant Weeks. It's the 16th year. Started from January 16th to February 16th. You can find all the information on go-to-bermuda.com. We have a lot of restaurants that have Bermuda-inspired meals on their menus as well. And then we also have 6 signature events. One actually coming up on January 24th at Little Venice. And so basically, again, this is a time in the new year to connect with friends and family or your clients and everybody else or visitors to go out and eat and try new restaurants and all of that great stuff. So just want to put that quick little plug in about Restaurant Weeks. I love when it comes around. I love what the chefs come up with. And again, it gets a time to dine around. So.
Yeah. Oh, good. So I just want to say thank you to Mr. Vito O'Brien for being here. And part 2 is going to come up in a week or 2 or 3, whenever her schedule allows her to come in and tell you more and encourage you to be a part of what she does. I'll just share this with you before we conclude, is that I'm going to put a shameless plug into someone that controls finance to say, listen, imagine if we had a fund where we could engage some seniors to be the disciples of Ms. O'Brien, to go out there and teach those young people, to get them to come to her so that she can teach them more formally through the people that she has at her disposal. We've got to have a discipleship of Bermudians who believe in what we are so that we can preserve who we are and our culture, yeah?
Correct.
Well, thank you very, very much.
Thank you for having me. And have a great day to your listening audience.
Wow, at 10:24, we're coming up on the bottom of the hour. Stay tuned. I just want to say that, when we talk about this type of thing, we also talk about how important entertainment is. And I just want to say thank you to the Blakeneys here at Inter-Island Communications, who last month had Chef Wallace here with the great events that we put on. And coming up is another one. And I'm going to just play something here. Bermuda Idol, generating the next cohort of young entertainers out there, giving them the opportunity, is coming up. My cousin Damara Mabry has featured prominently in that. And when we come back, we'll have, on the second half of the show, we'll have our next guest who is involved in tourism in Bermuda.
Music is a beautiful thing, and we are blessed that we can all sing. So hit the lights and turn the cameras on. Turn up my mic. It's time to get the show on.
Do you have what it takes to be crowned Bermuda Idol 2026? The annual Bermuda Idol competition is by far the biggest singing competition in Bermuda. So why not try out for the 2026 title? Over $10,000 in cash and prizes. Bring your best song and sing it strong during the open auditions, Saturday, January 24th, between 1 and 3 p.m. at the Magic HQ. Yes, family, the 2026 Bermuda Idol open auditions will be held on Saturday, January 24th, between 1 and 3 p.m. at Magic 102.7 FM. If you have the talent, if you believe in you, this could be your year to claim the prestigious crown while receiving the amazing Bermuda Idol trophy and the Bermuda Idol 2026 cash prize of $5,000. So on Saturday, January 24th, bring your best song choice with your best singing voice to the 2026 Bermuda Idol Open Auditions, Saturday, January 24th, between 1 and 3 p.m. at Magic 102.7 FM.
Talent is a God-given thing, and we are blessed that we can all sing. So hit the lights and turn the cameras on. Turn up my mic, yeah.
And good morning and welcome back. I'm Kim Swan here as we come into the second half of our show this morning. This beautiful January the 21st, 2026, in the name of our Lord. You know, I just want to say that I'm a firm believer that we can turn this around and make Bermuda a year-round destination again. We once was a winter destination, and we needed to turn it around and make it a year-round destination by getting more visitors to the island. People said, nah, Swan, I don't remember that. I says, yes, I remember that. I remember when I worked for Castle Harbor, I had to be in Bermuda by late October. Mid-October, I had to be in Bermuda until about Easter. Then they released me and let me go, or they sponsored me and sent me to Europe to play professional golf because it was a winter destination. We were busy in the winters. And our overflow, we had people playing the golf courses from sunup to sunset, yeah? Our dining rooms were catered to accommodate 2 sittings to allow the early sitting to get on the golf course or do whatever they wanted to do. We had tour fishing boats going out of Castle Harbor, right? We had taxi drivers taking people on tours. We had golf courses full. How were you going to put 200 people on that golf course and keep them happy? You couldn't keep everybody happy, but you had to do your best. I had a pocket load of vouchers to send some people somewhere else who wanted to play golf and couldn't get it on with us. And the problem I had was all the other golf courses were full as well. That was in the winter, yeah? So I know we can sell the winter. I know in my heart of hearts. And what we just had with Mr. Vito O'Brien in here talking about social inclusion and engagement and showing you, the community, how we learned about tourism was through engagement with our elders. So we've got to recreate some things to change that dynamic. We don't have to settle for what people think of us. We can make it what we wanted to make it. Now, that leads me into the second half of my show this morning, our show this morning. And before we go there, I'll take one call. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Swan. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
First guest, she was very nice, and it's interesting to find out a lot about the food, and everybody enjoys your show, and you do a very good job. And today, can you wish Cable Captain Burgess happy birthday, because it's one of your golfers.
Thank you very much. The captain's birthday today. Thank you.
Yes, and you enjoy your day with your next guest, and it's always a pleasure listening.
Okay, thank you. That person. We send a special shout out to Keeble, the Captain Burgess, celebrating his birthday today. And as we talk about the importance of making Bermuda a year-round destination, it takes events. And I'm not expecting, and neither should you expect, the Bermuda Tourism Authority to put on all those events that we have. What we do need is to inspire more. We need to inspire more people to get involved and create events. And I'm here to share with you this morning that I have a young lady in studio who has worked in tourism all her life, and in somewhat semi-retirement, still does her part through ministry to encourage people to visit Bermuda, to cause people to stay in hotels, and to also serve a higher power in doing that. So I'm going to say good morning to Miss June Ann Farbert from the Walk to Calvary, and I'm going to let her tell you why she is here this morning.
Hallelujah. Thank you. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Bermuda. I used to do this many years ago, so I'm excited to be here this morning. And also, I spent 45 years at Grotto Bay Beach Resort in the industry of tourism, and I love it so very, 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 very much. Today, I'm here to talk about Walk to Calvary experience, which happens annually. It's been going on for 40 years right now. It's a large-scale, faith-based theatrical and immersive experience held during Holy Week. And our theme this year is Love Walked Among Us. Love walked among us. So this is the day the Lord has made. So let us rejoice and be glad in it, because I'm here today to invite anyone that's out there all over the world that would like to come to Bermuda, it's a phenomenal time to come to Bermuda. And it's the week of April 1st to the 6th of 2026. Good Friday this year is April 3rd. And on the Wednesday of the week prior to that, the Wednesday, which was April 1st, that's when most of our guests who are coming. So we're inviting you to come for this phenomenal experience. And when you come, we'll pick you up from the airport, and then we'll take you over to Grotto Bay. That's one of our sponsors this year who for housing. So if you need to get a rate for that, you can get a special rate to come and be a part of it there. And then once you come in that night and we pick you up from the airport, transportation is provided. And then we would have a wonderful evening of a reception where we get to meet everyone, and the tourism board comes in and says hello, and the premier, everyone, so that we can invite and have all these wonderful people in the mix. When we're there with the reception, they'll also make a Bermuda-made kite, because, you know, culturally in Bermuda, we fly kites on Good Friday as well. So we have where you'll be able to make your own kite, and after the phenomenal experience with Walk to Calvary, you'll be able to fly that kite. And then on Thursday, if you've come and you want to be a part of Walk to Calvary, some people come just to be a part of it. So we will make sure you get your costume, your everything that you need and required, and show you the area so that you're familiar with it for Good Friday. And then Thursday night, we have the Seder dinner, which is held at the Gospel Hall in Hamilton Parish. That'll be around 6:30 in the evening on the Thursday night, which is April 2nd. And then on April 3rd at 9:45 a.m. is the pre-worship experience held at Ebenezer. That's where it all starts. So we come, and the worship and the singers, the dancers, everyone, we worship and prepare, because at 10:30, the Walk to Calvary experience happens. And we come out, and the first scene is there, which is the Last Supper. Jesus is talking to his disciples. Jesus is also telling them that one of them will betray him. And this is where it all starts, and everything becomes a climax right there. And then Judas goes away. We go on down the streets of St. George's. All of this is held in the old town of St. George's. And we go on to Richard Allen Amy Church, which we have then the cleansing of the temple, because Jesus is throwing everything out because of what people are doing in his temple, which is not good. And he's really upset, and he just throws them all out. He does everything to make everything go away. And then here comes Judas. Judas is looking to conspire, and he's going up to the Sanhedrins, and he's going to the high priest to see what he can do, and how much will you give me
to make $1.
You know, to portray Jesus. This is all going on in the back of Richard Allen. And then we walk from there, the crowds, the Salvation Army band, everything, walking to the next location, which is at the Unfinished Church, which we do Gethsemane there. Here is Jesus pouring out his heart, pouring out his heart for us. He's praying and he's praying. He already knows what's coming before him. And even the angel appears to give him extra strength. And if he needed an angel, imagine what we need. So love walked among us. And here at the same time, he's asking his disciples to stay awake with him as he's praying, but they keep falling asleep. And then here comes Judas coming from the side, and he's now all excited because he's got all the bandwagons behind him and everybody plotting. And there he comes and betrays Jesus with a kiss. And then the disciples are all disturbed and all upset. They run away. They're ashamed. They don't know what's happening. These are the men that have been with Jesus all of this time. And so they run away, and there Peter denies Jesus. Judas hangs himself. So much goes on, but this is the real story. If you read the Bible, we do not put in extras. We do exactly how the Bible tells it, and how the reality of it all. So that happens, and then Jesus goes before the Sanhedrins and the high priests and everyone, and they're witnessing coming against him and telling all evils and lies about Jesus. Is all going on. And then he's sent over to the governor, which is Governor Pilate and King Herod, and he's like washed his hands off. This is what you want to do? Okay, well, let's crucify him then. And that goes on to the crucifixion. And then also on Sunday morning, we have the sunrise service. So this is a poured out experience of the experience of Walk to Calvary in Bermuda. So out there, if you've never been to Bermuda, or if you want to come back to Bermuda, that's a time to come and experience this phenomenal experience in Bermuda. And as I say, our theme is Love Walked Among Us. I say that because even though this was a very crucial time and a very hard time and a very time of stuff for Jesus, he came in love for us. We have all sinned and come short of glory. So he's come back to give us this. And on his deathbed, when he resurrected on the resurrection morning, it was for us.
Yes.
It was for us. And so I'm asking anyone that's out there, if you're not sure of anything, I'm glad to give you some information as well. Save the date, of course. It's April 1 to the 6th of 2026. Walk to Calvary Experience in Bermuda. And if you look up www.walktocalvary.bm, you'll get a lot of information, even films, and lots of information on there telling you what you need to do and how to get here, and all the information that one would require. Well, the hotels, what the rates are, different things that we can help you with to make this experience in Bermuda, because Bermuda is a wonderful place to come. We're only 600 and so miles off the coast of
North Carolina.
Right, of Carolina. So we are not too far. And we are here to have one. Also, last year, over 2,000 homes got to see it. It was live streamed across the world, and I'm talking about outside of Bermuda. So it's an exciting time. I don't know what your hearts are saying to you, but I'm asking and inviting you on behalf of Bermuda, on behalf of Walk to Calvary, on behalf of the Walk to Calvary experience, to be a part of this amazing, amazing, amazing time. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to come by. My name is June Ann Furbit. My phone number is area code 441-293-1653. That's area code 441-293-1653. And also there's an email if you want to email us at info@walktocalvary.bm. info@walktocalvary.bm. That's our email. If you have any questions, any concerns, anything that you want to know about more, whether it's hotels, whether it's the experience itself, and even if you want to be a part of it, that's exciting too. You can actually come and be a part of Walk to Calvary, the followers of Christ. You could be any aspect that you want. If you want, you let us know. And we are doing, as we do our rehearsals, we're also doing Zoom rehearsals for some of the people who want to be in it, so they know what they're doing on that side. So we're Zooming rehearsals at the same time as we have rehearsals, which started on Saturday and will go every Saturday until we actually experience the Walk to Calvary.
You know, my mind's just going a mile a minute listening to you, feeling the excitement that you share with us. And I just got to say one thing. Your theme is He walked with us.
Love walked with us.
Love walked with us.
Love walked among us.
Well, I just got to say this. Listening to you, I'm going to take poetic license. So Mr. Blakely says, at your show, love walks amongst us.
Yes.
Daily. All the time. It's always there, because there are people out there that need a little something. And I know if they're listening to you, that they're getting that. And whether or not they're here or far. And just listening to you reminded me of some of my friends who are in the film business overseas and internationally, who make documentaries and the like. And I have spent many a Christmas and an Easter watching these shows repeatedly. Some people like watching The Matrix like I do. Some people also like watching the story of Moses, the Passion of Christ, and other shows that have been made. Yes. I'm here to tell you that my experience living in St. George, and I'm just an import from up in the West End in St. George. I haven't lived there for over 40 years. Maybe when I reach 100 years living in St. George's, I might be able to apply for my status. But I'm here to tell you that this experience is one that has been built upon experience.
Yes, 40 years
you've been doing this
for 40 years.
And the Walk to Calvary is something that I am witnessing happening 365 days of the year in preparation to the culmination, which is, I've seen it, because I'm going to share this with you, is that when you did the play, were part of the Ebenezer Christmas concert.
Yes.
It was almost like a dress rehearsal in parts, the preamble for the Walk to Calvary. It was the Walk to Calvary production.
As it was.
So here we have Mr. Vito Bryan on in the first half of the show talking about social inclusion and stakeholder engagement. And in this half of the show, we're showing you how a local production has turned into a tourism staple product that has grown from 1 weekend to 1 week beyond, where it's taking place other parts of the year as they prepare for that. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely, and that's the exciting part about it. And not only that, we my heart is full.
Yes.
Because people got saved. We have the baptism on the Saturday morning of those that got baptized because they gave their lives to Christ. There's so much going on. There's so much that we add to.
You mean in real time? You're not talking about persons who's doing it for the production.
These are new people who came from Canada, came from the U.S., and while they were here, they got saved.
Wow!
During this experience of Walk to Calvary during that time, and then the next morning we had the baptism for them. So it's more than you can actually imagine. I'm asking you to think about what Jesus means to you, what this Walk to Calvary experience can mean to you in Bermuda and across the world. I'm so happy that I gave my life to Christ. I'm so happy because He's helped me. I've had stage 3 aggressive cancer in 2014. I had stage 3, and I was having chemo and radiation surgery. You name it, everything. This is 2026.
Well, you're getting your therapy today.
Yes,
you're telling the story.
Jesus, that's
you know what I mean. And I just want to. A lot of times we will put money into things that make people feel good.
Yes.
Yeah? And there's nothing wrong with that. You and I have been in the hospitality industry for the majority of our lives, right? We're not saying how many, but many. And what we're seeing now is you doing what you've been trained to do and glorify what all of us, the majority of us in this country, have been brought up on believing in Christ. And if it wasn't Christ, they believed in a higher being.
Yes.
And this Walk to Calvary is showing people how to celebrate it with people that think just like them.
Absolutely, absolutely. When we pray every day. Who do you pray? Who do you pray to? Why do you pray?
Yes.
We see the chaos all across the world.
Yes.
And even Bermuda.
Yes.
With all the people getting on the roads, getting accidents and people dying in accidents. There's so much going on. There's so much evil. And you have Satan out there and you have Jesus. What do you want? How are we going to go forward if we don't understand what this is all about?
Right.
And so we open up the doors of Walk to Calvary experience to Bermuda, to the overseas, to anyone that would like to come and be a part of this phenomenal experience and get to meet other Christians who are going through as well, and that we could come together as a unity, as a family, as a Bermuda family and an international family, all of it.
Please feel free to call back, caller. Yes, and as you're talking, Ms. Herbert, it reminds me of when my grandfather up in Gombey level with the Brethren Church used to have open air revivals in the back on his porch. He had a big porch, and they say sing and they'll hear you down in Death Valley. It'll carry right over White Hill. They'll hear you in Scawa, and the people. But you had persons that would come down and time their visits to be a part of that, and that is what cultural tourism is all about. Yes. Some people call it faith-based tourism. We are people of this country, have many believe and are celebrating that and encouraging people to come here.
Yes.
And it's not something that you're coming here and saying we would like to start. It's something that you've been doing for 40 years.
Yes. So, and not only that they come and experience that, but they experience the culture of Bermuda as well. Because we will give them the time of seeing Bermuda. They're going to get tours. They're going to have many, many other things involved around this whole sacred experience. So I know that if you come to Bermuda, you'll have a wonderful time with myself, June-Ann Furbin, and everybody else that's here in Bermuda, along with Kim, and have an exciting moment in time.
And tell us about how Grotto Bay got involved and stay involved? And what's their involvement? And is there room for other hotels to
Exactly, room for
help
other
it grow?
hotels and other sponsorship. It takes a lot to produce this, even just sound across the whole of St. George's, because we go from scene to scene. Everything costs, you know that in life. But we are just opening up doors and asking if there are any other sponsors out there that would love to help us. Don't hesitate to call. If there's anybody out there that would like to be a part of it, don't hesitate to call, because we need everything. We need all of us. Well, that's what makes it beautiful when you come together, when you're united as one. And you may have different churches in Bermuda, but we believe in one God. One God.
Amen. Good morning, caller. Welcome. You are on Tourism in Focus.
Good morning, Kim, and your guests.
Good morning, sir. How are you? Hope everything's well down in the southeast.
Yes. Now, listening in, the lady talked about kite making, and they do kite making now.
Yes.
I have donated a kite to the cause for 2 years, right?
That's right.
But you know my condition, and I would like to, if it's not too late, to offer myself as making some kites. Or
love
teaching
it.
people
Love it.
how to make kites at the hotel. I know my brother Oliver. He used to be
The Roman soldier.
Right.
yeah, and he used to beat off the gentleman that acted as Jesus, and he's going on to glory. And
Gene Wainwright. Gene Wainwright.
Brother putting the man right.
Yes.
I mean, it
Who
looks
did
so
many
real.
years.
Oliver used to,
He was a victim.
work together, and it looks so real. Like Oliver, I thought was literally beating him. But anyway,
Well, he told me, you think Oliver's skinning up on me? Yeah, that boy's a licking me.
But praise the Lord, we'd love to have you. Love to have you. My number again is 293-1653. Give me a call, and then we'll arrange things.
Okay, now I'm blind, so to be, to be there, I would have, I hope, and if all of us still involved in it, I would have to have somebody there with me to actually explain to people. But I could, what I could offer is making up some frames where, others could actually
Paste them?
Paste them, yes.
You guess how to paste them.
Okay.
Sure. What is your number?
Okay.
Just give me your number, and then I'll...
536
Uh-huh.
1429.
1429. Got it.
Yes.
All right, my brother. I will definitely
Okay.
call you, I promise.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See, that's where I'm talking about
Yeah.
unity and the family coming
Yes.
together, and that's beautiful.
And the connections. I listen to Arthur, who I've gotten to know since I moved to St. George, but through Alan Kemp, I've known his brother and Kimi Mello since 10 years old.
Yeah.
And then we started Berkeley that same summer. We were all at Alan Kemp together. Me coming out of Whale Bay community, and them coming out of the St. David's community. And what you're doing with Walk Calvary, you're connecting up with the Mount Zion AMEs that are overseas,
Yes,
with the Richard Allens that are international,
Yes.
and bringing them home to Bermuda. And I want to tell people, when I lived in St. George's for now 30 odd years, and when I sit up on the hill and I look over the town of St. George's, this time of year in December, and you look up over the St. George's, and you look over St. David's, and you see Jupiter and Venus, two bright stars. You think they're a drone up there. They look so close, right? And I've always called the St. George's the little town of Bethlehem.
That's right.
Right?
And if you go to Jerusalem, it looks, the small streets are just like that.
And I'm here to tell you, when you feel the spirit that comes over folks that have gotten them prepared all year round and involving people from overseas all year round, and ask people, what is the template to cause people to come to Bermuda, is what you believe in. And so, last week, I'm just going to digress a little bit. You would have been involved in this as well. We've seen people coming to Bermuda for decades now to run.
Yes.
To run like
for
Forrest
races.
Gump.
Yeah.
And you know what? Those folks that I picked up and gave a ride over to Horseshoe Bay on the Sunday, who were a little perturbed, having to wait and weren't sure that they had their directions on, they says, we love running in the temperatures in Bermuda. The bad weather, you think it's bad weather, is ideal for a runner. And I says, oh my gosh, how many millions, as Muhammad Ali, how many millions and millions and millions of runners are out there, and we only need about 10,000 of them, or less, spread over the months to come here and enjoy what we take for granted. We'll stay locked up in our house, and they'll be out there running on the streets. You know, they'll be out exploring there, and that's what's happening. That's the love. They have a love and a passion for running. And the Walk to Calvary have a love and a passion for Christ.
Yes.
And there are millions and millions and millions of people around the world that just want to be able to celebrate the love that people have here together.
Together. And that's all we're asking. Come and be a part of this phenomenal. Come together. Let us greet you and you greet us, and we walk together as we experience Christ.
And we're going to go back to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. Welcome. You are on.
Hey, good morning. Good morning to Miss Ferbert, and good morning, Kim.
And good morning to you, my good friend.
And cousin, you brought up Scour just now.
Oh my gosh! You mean I awakened the Scour man? Go ahead.
And between you and Miss Ferbert, you've spoken about how the walk down in St. George, Walk for Calgary, brings tourists to it as well.
Yes, that's what we're saying. Last year we had many tourists, and they keep coming back, and we're
looking
inviting
for
them.
more.
We're looking for more and inviting them to come.
Now, nice doing. I wanna encourage others as well to do little walks around the area. We've done 2 around Scour since the end part of December, and we've got a second one done. And on the first one, from meeting 2 tourists on the airplane, they joined us on our first walk.
Awesome.
And quite enjoyed it. And they're in the group chat of the Scour walkabouts.
Okay.
And who knows? What might happen? Then I know they're coming back here again. You know, we might be able to put on another one. Who knows?
Well, let me suggest this to you. I can call you brother Lambert from Scour. Why don't you reach out to Walk to Calvary and see if during the year there's a scene that they can do in the West End that leads up, because it's all interconnected. And I can tell you this. My great-great-grandfather was Peter Anderson, and Canon Nisbet's wife, who come from Hog Bay, told me that he used to push his boat out in the middle of Scour and preach. So let me tell you, there's a lot to be said about Scour. Okay, and so she told me that, and her son is now at St. Peter's now, right?
Yes.
I'm here to tell you. So reach out.
He's into play this year
because maybe we could look. That's like Mr. Eamon Hunt used to have his ukulele with his little sailboat and take tourists around Scour. I'm sure when Jesus was walking around, he didn't just stay down in St. George's hoping that we win the cup this year, or hope he was praying for us to win the cup this year. He came up to Scour as well.
Amen.
So, Brother Lambert, reach out to Walk to Calvary. I know y'all make it happen, fella.
And we do still need a few more men. So if you're willing, we're willing to have you.
As Ken gave a suggestion, the Walk to Calgary organizers might have something on another end of the island, another part of the island.
Well, that's how events grow. If you would have come down to Ebenezer, you would have seen a production within an hour and a quarter that was amazing. Showed persons how the Bible, the intent of Scripture. And that's what persons are doing, and using their talents in music, in play production, in dance to convey it.
Yes.
And those are the type of things that if we want to change our society, we can do it with hospitality as well, because most of us have spent some time in it.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Brother Lambert, I got another call coming in.
Yes, Ms. Ferber could leave a number again, and we go from there.
I will say it again. 293-1653. That's 1653.
Okay, thank you.
Got it. Thank you. All the best.
Bye. Good morning, caller. Welcome. You're on Tourism in Focus. We've only got a few minutes left.
Yes, I'm going to make it quick. Kim, when you spoke of the runners, it reminded me of race weekend and how it started and how we depended on people just to come here. And now we have a network of people that we reach out to that are from different running clubs all over the world. I'm wondering if the churches as well can network with their church.
Right.
To bring people here and make it an attraction that way in terms of having definite groups that come rather than hoping people have visited and seen it.
Thanks, Mike. I'll let Ms. Ferbert answer that because I'm coming up on the top of the hour. Thank you. We're going to have her on again soon. Go ahead.
We have reached out to all the churches. Letters have gone out informing them of Walk to Calvary and even asking for them to participate in any which way they can. And so we're just waiting to hear back, and hopefully by today in this conversation, we'll hear back even quicker.
Wow. You know, and just in the spirit of cultural tourism, we see the powwow in St. David's, we see county games, we see cup match, we see race week, we see the bridge, we see the golf. These involve persons on island who have a passion for that, and this is an example of the template that's required. One more call. Caller, you got 30 seconds. Well, you don't. I'll give it to you, Ms. Furman.
Thank you so very much. Once again, thank you for having us this morning. And again, Walk to Calvary experience in Bermuda. We've done it again for 40 years on a large scale, faith-based, theatrical, and immersive experience on Holy Week, which is from the 1st to the 6th of April, 2026.
Wow. And I just want to say thank you.
Come and see us over there. We're waiting to invite you and be a part of your experience in Bermuda.
And I want to send a special shout out and prayers to my good friend, Reverend David Trott, who comes from White Hill, Somerset Bridge fella through with some Bayless Bay connections as well on the Trott side, the Lambert side, and look forward to next time you come. Hopefully he can join you as well. Always appreciate the sharing with the audience, your experience and the passion that you all have for Bermuda.
Just want to thank everyone who has participated in Walk to Calvary over the years. For all of these years, there have been more and more and more. So I'm thanking you all in advance in Jesus' name.
All right. And with that, I just want to say thank you all. I do have to tell you that I look forward to you being with us next week, if it's the will of the Lord. And I want to thank Mr. Vita O'Brien for coming in her new role as director, responsible for engagement and inclusion, and her role in bringing you more involved in tourism. And we've just seen how that plays out with the Walk to Calvary, which has been going on for over 40 years. That's our show today. Lord willing, we'll be back with you next week on Tourism in Focus.
Subscribe now. Bermuda Live on YouTube. Subscribe now.